So welcome back, everybody. I have decided to take an oldie but goodie video off of our main channel. It was a 5-part series, and I'm going to cut it down. As the title says, it's pretty much a solo DIY stair build, which was by far my biggest welding project at the time. I had to teach myself how to do a lot of stuff here, including a bunch of woodworking in ways that I've never done before. And I do want to apologize. This was back when our channel was fresh and new, so we had older cameras, bad audio, bad lighting, but this is worth a watch, so I decided to put it into a video. So what I'm doing right here is taking cheap 2x lumber from the big box store and just gonna plane it down, try to clean it up. This is a budget build with scrap steel, had to order some in, and basic 2x framing lumber that I'm trying to work down. You can see I'm gluing it all together here. We're gonna be doing some planing, some sanding, and I'm trying to come up with affordable stair treads and a platform, because when I was pricing them online, oh, you could spend thousands of dollars, and I'm trying to do this for hundreds of dollars. So what I'm doing is gluing multiple 2x material together. We're going to let that set up overnight. I'm going to come in and scrape all the dried glue off right here, and you're going to see that I'm doing a bunch of sanding and planing. That's the name of the game. Take rough framing lumber and let's see if we can turn it into something beautiful. So what I'm doing right here is taking these big, large 12-inch pieces, and I'm going to glue them together to make a landing platform, and then we'll bolt all this in later to make sure it's nice, stiff, and strong. And then after you see me sand this down, glue it together overnight, sand it down, get it looking as good as I possibly can, then we'll move on to the stair stringers. We're going to build those out of the same material, the same way. So what I'm doing right here is taking some wood putty and filler, because we're putting rough cut lumber together like this. Well, somewhat rough cut. There's lots of gaps, and I spent a lot of time getting this nice and smooth with the basic tools that I have on hand. Same way, rounding over the edges so toes don't catch on it. It's a nice good look, and we'll get these nice and satin polyurethaned up right here, which makes them look oh so good. Love the way these came out. Alright, so what I'm about to do right here is take my basic tools that I have on hand, and we're going to be building the landing platform, the main stair supports, everything out of steel at this point, that all that wood that we just created is going to bolt to. I'm figuring this out as I go. So I purchased some scrap steel beams right here. They look good to the eye, but they got a lot of rust and pitting in them. I'm trying to figure out how to cut them with some of the basic tools that I have, and we're gonna have to prime and bondo these later because they're pitted so bad. goes the long, tedious process. I want this to look good as a finished product. So I'm taking a body filler, which is what you use in the automotive industry, and filling in all the nooks and crannies. And whenever I make it right up here to the steel beam, it's literally got thousands of pits in it that you can't see right there. So I'm having to body fill all that in, sand it down so we get a nice, smooth, good looking finish when it comes time for paint. Thank goodness for friends, because this stuff is so heavy. There's no way I could lift it by myself. Oh my goodness, so happy to have somebody like this. Wait till you see us lift the main section a little bit. It weighs well over 1,000 pounds. And if you're curious, I did work with an engineer on this to make sure it's nice and safe, and I've got either 3 or 4 triple or quadruple stack studs in the wall right there that I'm bolting into. So we already designed the wall to take this load. Look at this lift right here. I can't tell you, that weighs so much that it's straining 4 to 5 guys right here. It's built out of some really thick material. Once again, super blessed and happy to have friends and family that drove all the way over to help me put this up, because this was so nerve-wracking right here. All this work, I didn't want to drop nothing, crush nothing, hurt nobody, but we have got to get it up there bolted not only to the floor, but to that landing platform that I built. But when it's all done, it's going to be unbelievably robust. Speaking of, here's me putting concrete anchors in the floor so the bottom can never slip out. And we're about to lift it up and put it on that right here. Here it goes. Once again, extremely heavy lift. Very, very heavy. But made possible thanks to a bunch of friends and family. And a big shout out to Mr. Troy. He's actual truss and design engineer. These are the plans we went over before I ever built this, just to make for sure that we could handle the load and it would be nice and safe.